La da 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 da. All right, that's just about enough wind up and preamble over here. Oh wait, nope, I need my patrol cap. One of you, come here. Oh, you're dusty. I have more of you. Bad patrol cap. Oh, I just saw the captions as they were fading. That was definitely not what I said, but that's okay. Leave the world wondering. Little lip balm for my gnawed and half-eaten lips, and alright, yeah, let's go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Sergeant Killer Snow with Snow Studio Games, and today we are going to be starting up a new project. And this project, I think so far, might be called Numerical Nightmare. What I want to do is create little monster numbers and little operator symbol monsters as well, and then in order to proceed past a door that will always randomly generate a number that you have to reach, and then you have to slay the amount of numbers and operators that you would need to make that door open. That's what I've come up with so far. Might be the only thing it needs to be, because that already sounds like it's going to take me some time. So we're going to go, of course, with a 2D format. Working in 3D would take more time, even though it would be nicer. Ah, I know you can't see me. I haven't hit the button yet. I like to go ahead and do the preamble when there's nothing distracting on screen. One momento. Also, welcome, Tori. Thank you for being here. Let me go ahead and now do that thing. Where's that button? Ooh, which one? I need to open up a script real quick before I swap over. Just so that way the scene is properly propagated and I don't have my Discord up on stream. Let's go ahead and call this, of course, script. It's always the first folder I make. I happen to like scripting. I hate having to admit it, but I also love admitting it. So this one is just going to be, this is input manager. I always make an input manager first. Why did I delay on that? Hello, Darklight. Welcome. Gosh, it's so nice that there's people here. Once this script opens up, I can go ahead and safely swap our scenes. Not that there's anything, untoward anywhere else. No, of course not. That works. And the script is there, and this button is there. Haha! See, we're good. It's fine. Hello, welcome. We have our adrenaline shock drink. Hashtag not sponsored. We have our Azeron keyboard. Hashtag not sponsored. But we don't need that. We don't use that for development, not yet. I have no time to find the optimal settings to bind to those 29 keys. Oh boy. So, here we are, starting brand new, fresh, again. I think I may have tossed some fantasy background textures in here. Yeah, oh, damn it, they're all SU assets, of course. Damn it. That's an Unreal Pro. I could technically open that one on top of this one and just try and see which textures I want. I'll worry about that later. I need to create a generic background. So we're going to go ahead and start this off with ow, 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 hand. Why are you doing this? Every now and again, the vein in the middle of my hand feels like it's pinched between, like, the assembly of the bones in my hand. Oh, okay, there it goes. It's gone. Or it's reduced. Or it's taking a break. I don't know. Alright. I don't need that hand that bad. Let's go. We're going to create an empty, and we're going to go ahead and say background. Nice and simple. I'm actually just going to toss the sprite renderer on top of this. There's no need to give this multiple components. And should have been a panel. Nah. Thank you, hand. Where's our main camera? I want to go ahead and... we don't have a pin here, do we? What if I lock you like that? No? I don't get to see a view of your... There it is. Turned off gizmos for the previous project, I guess. They tend to get annoying after a while. You see, y'all are definitely getting the spooky Halloween ambiance music. Well, not spooky, it's rather whimsical. I like it. I amped it up just a little bit. If it's a little too loud, let me know, and I'll turn it back down. Let me move my various medications and pills over. Come on. Scoop. I need access to that dial. This is Unity, yes. So, main camera selected, you can... Hey, Tori, thank you for subbing to the channel. I appreciate it, brother. Welcome, welcome. I'm, not sure if I, like, made it as well broadcast as I should have, but I stopped streaming on Sergeant Killer Snow because that channel is literally predating the algorithm. So I wanted to start something fresh, and here we are. It's been this way since the start of the semester, and it's going to continue long after my schooling is done. So we have this tiny itty-bitty background sprite. When you select the camera, you can see the frame, and you can go ahead and change the size as you need it, if you need it. We'll just leave that at what it was, at 5. And there's a bunch of options for the camera as well, like there are in several game engine cameras. That's already really useful. First thing I like to do is set the environment color to nothing whenever there's nothing back there. So we have that, and we have, you can see on the main camera render thing here, or maybe you can't. Actually, it looks like there's just a single blown out pixel. So this tiny little thing right there, that's our background. That's our background sprite. Isn't it great? So let's unlock that inspector so it'll show us the background sprite info. And I'm going to set this to a -5 in the sort order, I guess. Wait, where's the camera? The camera's at -10. Yeah. Yeah, this can work. We'll set that to -5. We'll make it static because backgrounds don't move. And then we're going to scale uniformly. That's what this chain is for. Constrained proportions is to basically do things all at once. So if I change the X value, it's also going to change the Y and the Z value for the scale right now. You can't do it for rotation and position because it's impossible. So it wouldn't know how to visualize that. I wouldn't know how to visualize that. I don't. It's making me go cross-eyed. I gotta stop. Alright, so we're gonna expand the size of this. because this is quite literally just going to be a base background thing, and we're going to base our imagery not off what is here, but what we're seeing in the main camera here in the bottom right. So we have that. I'm going to create 2D sprite. Let's get a square on here. Let's change the color of the square to... yeah, that, sure. Get that grayscale going a little better. And we're going to say that this is... zoom out a little. Zoom in a little. Heading right around here, I guess. And stretch that. And, do we have an oval of sorts? This can stay at 0 in the sort order. But if I go ahead and create, let's look at what's available in the 2D object. Sprites. There is a capsule. 2D capsule sprite. Although, is it 2D? Whatever. Could just toggle 2D on or off. It is 2D. Very nice. They call it capsule instead of just an oval. Consistency. So we want to go ahead and make that maybe like a shiny golden color. And we can put this here. If we set the order and layer to -1, it will definitely make sure to render this behind the floor, which is set to sort order in layer 0. So the floor is just going to be at the very base layer, and that's also where the player is going to be walking around on, is at, you know, order and layer is going to be 0 for the player as well. So what we can do with this is now this can look like a doorway. And we can also actually create an empty here. Create an empty here. We're not going to make an actual closed door sprite. We're just going to grab this sprite renderer. We're going to copy it. We're going to toss it here in the closed door. I did a dummy. It's supposed to come in here, right click. Can I paste? There we go. And we're going to set this to a brighter color. Set it to -2 in the sort order. Scale it a bit, let's say 1 point. Turn off the uniform scaling real quick. 1.25. I think I actually want the width at 1.3 and the height at 1.25. Yeah. And the Z can stay at 1 because that's going to be its depth, and it's 2D. We don't need to worry about depth. Anytime you see the camera skip like it just did, it means that my camera's been on for a half hour and it just wants to refresh the shutter. So it basically sounds like it's taking a picture of me whenever it does it. That's how I know it's doing it. Let's see if we can... There you go. We control A is alpha, so we've got red, green, blue, and alpha. Alpha is going to be its visibility, its translucency, its opacity. These are all different words for the same thing. It's going to be how visible is this? Like, That's all. How much is it coloring each pixel to be each of the colors that were in the ascending order previously mentioned? So we have that there, and now from our main camera perspective at the very least, let's expand this a bit. That looks a little like a doorway. We could also put a brighter spot in the middle to try and give it some dimensionality, but there's really no need for that. God damn it, now I'm picturing it, and it kind of would be a little dope. Damn it. Okay. We're gonna put this to -3 in the sort order. The glow is going to... Damn it. I'm just gonna name this glow. I can't name it the exact same thing until I make sure that that exact same thing is no longer available. Haha. So we have the glow, and I was going to attach to the glow it's a fancy name for the triangle that I'm gonna throw on this. Oh shit, I should have just done this, shouldn't I? Is there a triangle sprite? There is. Get on there. Get rid of that. Do that. It's attached there. I can just zero out its location, can't I? There we go. Do that. Make it wider. And voila. Yeah. So that looks like a doorway to somewhere. Hold up. Wait a minute. Now something could go right. That one won't work. Stay at 0. Let's see what I can do to warp you up a bit. Zero. Wrong key. I wanted the R key. Yeah. All this is for the doors. Or I'm just going to call it a path at this point. And for this, we were going to... Damn, I was pretty sure we were just going to go ahead and grab this original capsule sprite, not the glow. Main capsule. I have to go and do something real quick. Give me like 2 to 5 minutes, please. This is, I can't let this wait. Alright, I'm back. I am back. The bullet switch is here too. I'm so happy. So, I'm back. Sorry about that. We have our path. How am I doing today? I woke up late. I took my meds later, and it's gonna be kind of a staggered day. But that's okay, because tomorrow is Saturday. You do? Can you, perchance, drop it into my Discord? Under, like, suggestions or recommendations. I forgot what I called it at this point, but thank you. So do you. Just kidding, but I'm not kidding about the so do you part. That's right, finger guns on cam. I actually do it all the time. It's also to make sure that my fingers aren't broken. We were going to duplicate this, that's what it was. Copy component. And now we're going to go to the closed door sprite. We're going to go ahead and right click, paste component as new, and we're going to change this to that color and put that at 1. Oh, maybe not at 1. Not at 10 either. At 0, perchance, I guess. Stay at -1, which is your place, but what will happen is that these components here will become hidden, ultimately, by me putting them at -2. What? Why is it gone? Wait a minute. Oh, because they're behind the door sprite now. Should be. So now if this sprite were to be turned off, boop, why are they gone? This should be in front of them, shouldn't it? Or are they just at a 0 value from wherever that's at? I'm gonna have to guess that, because it doesn't seem to want to work any other way. So essentially what I wanted to do is whenever I toggle the closed door sprite, I'll just toggle this off, which should hide the other pieces. Yeah, it does. Cool. Because I would toggle the door closed and the glow would be gone because the door wouldn't be open. See? That's how it's gonna work. Next is we'd have to script the door to actually take us somewhere, and I'm gonna have to probably have a couple of scenes for that, but we'll see what we can do. Next thing we should do, though, is input management. I forgot to do a certain thing. Let's save this scene's let's rename the scene to be Numbers Nightmare. Hub _ Numbers Nightmare. Because this is going to be the hub level that branches to where they get their numbers, their operators, and then it's going to have the door that they have to bypass. So to explain for anyone that wasn't here, which is basically I talked to no one generally for the first bit, except Tori. Tori was here. And that's just because I gave him the exclusive link really quick right before I hit launch. So we are going to create what I'm going to call the Numbers Nightmare, and it's, you know, in theory, in my head, it would be some sort of labyrinth that I would design the maze layout for it. I would use what I've learned from the maze game and how to design the maze, and then for the doors, I would have them have a number value that you would have to go to various number doors and fight the number monsters in there to get them in your inventory so you can use them in conjunction with operators that you can find in different doors. So you're basically just going into different paths saying, I need numbers. There's a number door. Let me go through that. In a bigger version of this, it would be, oh, I need even numbers. Let me go through here. Oh, stuff like that. I need multiples of whatever. Or there would be doors that have that, so that way you can kind of expedite your search for things. I might actually still do that in here just as the base concept, but I'm not going to have the actual traversal throughout a maze for this, because not enough time. It's just going to be the player moving along this floor, and they get to go through a numbers door, the operator's door, and open up the door that requires a solution. And I'm thinking I can make like 3 different doors for numbers and then put different types of numbers in there. And I was gonna create the numbers myself. We have a little shoe for the number that I did with the well, I didn't do it. I used their stupid little AI generation thing, and I'm gonna see if it will actually listen to me and do it in a pixel art version. And if it doesn't, then I'll just get a pixel art brush and do a really, really basic shoe shape. Because that's all I really need. And I want that to be like the base of the number monsters, and then it'll just plop a number sprite, you know, on top of that, based off the number generator that I would likely create. There ain't no way that I'm gonna go ahead and script a whole bunch of different numbers. Although I could just make one base number class and then add abstract different subclasses off of it, but there's no point in that. They're all going to be for basically the same thing, to store its numerical value in the player's inventory. So we have this scene. Oh, I got crumbs. I need to stop. Well, I can't even say I need to stop eating at my desk. I don't have a table. That this is what I have. Awesome. Must move. So the reason I was delaying the input manager a little bit is because we, meaning I, like to, and objectively like to, use the new, quote-unquote new input system for Unity. And I say quote-unquote because it's been out for years now. But still a lot of people either don't know about it, or they just don't know how to use it. And it can be a little bit more lengthy setup at the start, but it makes things far more modular down the line, because then you can make it, you can make controls for other consoles and stuff. There we go, input system. See? 1.7.0. This was released in 1.7 was released in 2023. The system itself has been out for a little bit. So we're going to install that. It's going to tell us to restart the editor once it's done. And also it's going to say something about the backends. You can disable backends if you want. You can leave them on if you want. I'm probably going to leave them on this time. And by leaving them on, that's doing a quick reset. So we need to go ahead and save, and it'll do the thing. Hooray! Oh yeah, that's right. I actually started a documentation thing for it just in case. So let me write out our whole little plan there, since it would probably behoove me to do so for a better grade. Setting. Why is my scroll lock on? Jesus. reoccurring nightmare. A struggling math student. Yes, fix my spelling mistakes. Yes! By the way, if this looks different from the usual Word document that you're used to seeing, that's because this is not Microsoft Word. I am demonstrating one of the free and not, like, company-owned, open source versions of Word software out there. This is LibreOffice, or FreeOffice. Specifically, LibreOffice Writer. My mouth still feels weird trying to switch from Spanish to English in the same word. LibreOffice. I get it. It's like Libre Oficina. Drop off the oficina. So we have the setting. Enemies are going to be number monsters and operator monsters. Ooh, wait. Operator pests. They're gonna be like little rodents and stuff, but they're gonna be, they're not actually gonna be rodents. They're just gonna be looking like the numerical monsters. They're gonna be a little smaller though, and instead of going to also attack the player and approach the player like I want the number monsters to, I'm gonna have the operator pests try and run away from the player. Obviously, they're not gonna run anywhere near as fast as the player. Maybe half the speed of the player, so that way the player can just, you know, pop and get them out the way. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the player have to attack them or just like run into them to acquire them. I might have them attack first and then do an interact key after to pick them up. Depends. Let me put this information down. The numb monsters. Add to dictionary. Alright, operator pest. Yes, that's the word I was looking for, not pesk. Whoops! I was thinking pesky. Wait, we did this reload. I need to check the preferences, I think. External tools. Okay, so it already has registry packages there. And let me go to in projects, go to input system. I like this one. Where was the thingamabobber that I absolutely needed? Oh, right. I think it was something along the lines of I wanted to create not the input actions itself. Where is the input tab? My glasses. I shouldn't be seen without my glasses. I've made mistakes. I'm wondering why I'm like trying to lean in so far to read stuff. Damn, you right. The camera is crispy today. What the fuck did I do different? Yeesh. Boy, am I really not happy about being a self-conscious person. That's part of the reason I stream, and having done so for years, I'm not as self-conscious as I was, or else the camera would turn off at this point because I'd be like, "Oh no, that's too clean of an image of me. I don't like it." All right. I can see. I can fight. New controls. Negative. This is actually not. It kind of is, but also not. I want to find the player controls that kind of already exist. Oh, they still gave me their render pipeline stuff. I didn't ask for that. Let's see. We have the Unity UI there. Open that up a little bit. Input systems. This is something I always wind up doing, is struggling to find like the step in between getting it like implemented and then starting up my actual process. Because I know that I could make a new one and start there, but I also know that there is already like pre-made stuff, and there's a way to get it like already called in. I just struggle to remember exactly where it was that I could find that. Oh, come on, show me the whole names of stuff. Terrible. Hate them. I hate them so much. Wait, tests? Possibly? Nope. Not it. Why is my back button not working? I dislike this. Alright. Fine. I knew there was something in here. I know it. I know it, and I just don't see it. So, player controls. Do that. Add control scheme. We're going to create the control scheme for keyboard and mouse. Not mouse. Mouse. And we're going to add keyboard. Oh god, it's gonna do this thing. Okay, so great teaching opportunity. You'll notice that in trying to add the control scheme, when I hit plus here, there's this black bar that shows up, or this bar that looks like the rest of it, that shows up right there, and it's covering the search bar, and I can't like click things. So what's going on with that? Well, you notice that we got this pop-up. Oh, you probably don't notice it actually. Here, let me help. You'll notice that there's this warning message that popped up right here. And if you can't read it, which I don't blame you because, you know, the pixelation of everything having to be squashed, I'll read it for you. Unable to find style, toolbar eesh text field. Eesh is spelled S-E-A-C-H. It's obviously a misspelled toolbar search text field. In skin, dark skin used. So what you want to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera back on, is you want to double click that, and it'll open up the advanced drop-down GUI script. You don't want to mess with much of anything in here, but you'll notice it took us directly to line 16, where it says public static read-only GUI style toolbar search field equals, and then in parentheses it says toolbar eesh field. This is where they made their little spelling error. If you just go ahead and put the R where it's supposed to be, and then you save the file, compiling. You can close that script out so you don't feel tempted to mess with anything else in it. I'm going to tick autosave on that just in case. But now when we go to control scheme, let's go ahead and type this out again. Keyboard and mouse. It properly put that bar where it was supposed to be underneath the search field. And now we can actually click on things as well. One letter broke the menu. This is why it's important to check your script, check your code, and the only reason that the engine itself didn't tell them that there was something wrong there is because it was looking for a string. A string is you know, a sentence. The engine generally doesn't actually analyze and break down what is in that sentence. After you put it in those quotations and you say that it's a string, it's like, okay, so here's that jumble of ones and zeros organized in the fancy way that you want. That's it. That's all it understands. So the engine itself didn't understand that the person that made the script made an error in that little tie-in. So all it did was return the warning that something wasn't right. And it's an easy fix. So now we can go to keyboard and put keyboard. And that's definitely required. And then we also want to add mouse. Save. I really wish I remember the initial thing for an input. Wait a minute. Was it in the event system? Standalone. Yeah, I need that. Yeah. Yeah, where the hell's this one at? I need to remember this. Where the hell was this? Okay, so it is under input system, and then it's under editor. No, editor is what I had open before. So input system, plugins, player input. See, I even went into the tests one. Oh, I would not have found that for a while. I for sure would not have found that for quite some time. I'm gonna copy the whole folder. Will it not let me copy the whole folder? It'll only let me copy the path. Oh, wait a minute. I need to drag and drop it to the spot that I want, huh? So mode it be. You're gonna get dropped into my folder. Actually, no. Drop you into the scripts folder. Oh no, it actually moved the whole thing? Did it? Did it? Yeah, it did. Undo. It says it already undid it. Look at that. Look at that. We messed it up. We messed it all up. Where's it at? It is already back where it's supposed to be, right? Yeah, it is. It's just messed up because of the callbacks and stuff. And by that it means that because I had relocated it, I forgot that I'm not using Unreal Engine. And when you try and move something like that in Unreal, it asks you if you want to copy the thing there, move it there, or advanced copy it there. Which is a feature that I still don't completely understand. But I wanted to drag it there and have the pop-up be like, hey, you want to copy this here, right? And I messed everything up because of it. Wait, but that changed. And now it's gone. Inaccessible due to its protection level. Okay. So, input system. You're not going to be in the one in here, are you? Yeah, you're not. I messed it up. I gots to go. Don't save. Hopefully by not saving, it will undo my mistake. I hope. Truly, truly hope. Because if not, I'll have to redo the whole thing. It would be the waste of an hour, but at least it's only the waste of an hour, right? That's what happens being a little too hasty. Generally, using undo will do a clean undo of something too, so I don't know why it didn't do the undo of the do. It contains compilation errors. Trash. Trash is what I'm hearing. Alright, I'm gonna... It's opening in safe mode right now. I'm gonna take a look at it, but I'm not gonna waste too much time on it. By 6 p.m. my time, which is in 6 minutes, if I haven't figured it out. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. It's because these exist. Should not have existed. After I did that undo, that should not have existed. Oh. Is that all the compilation errors gone? Is everything back to being an acceptable format? Are we happy? Well, good. I'm not gonna do that again. Kidding! We're gonna try and do that a smarter way. Plugins. Not that one. Player input. This. I am going to copy this. Why don't you even give me the option to copy shit? I don't want to copy the path. I can copy it from there, but it's not in the damn quick menu. Sus. Okay. Extraction complete. Just gonna... There we go. And now we're gonna rename this, and it's gonna be... Nightmare Player. call that the input control. And it has links to everything there. Cool. I'm looking at the inspector here, seeing if there's anything that I can change through that, but the actual way to do it would be to go into this. I'm gonna add it up here for now. So, the reason I didn't want to go through and make my own of this is because of specifically this, trying to make the composites work the right way. And the problem that I was picturing in my head was, again, also an Unreal thing, because you have to manually tell it tell each direction what it has to invert in its calculations, because the Unreal version of their movement input system is telling it that it's going right, like it's going X plus 1, and then in order to get those other movements understood, you have to tell it, yeah, if they press the key to go backwards, it's going to be -1. So you have to tell it to take the X plus 1 that it knows and invert that. And then if you want it to go up, you have to tell it to... It's a bunch of shit. It's annoying. This also is, for some reason, still not easy for me to understand, because once I get here, trying to get these things to pop up, for some reason, doesn't seem to work the way I want it to. And I now understand why. I think it's that composite part right there. I don't know where that's being called or declared at. That's part of the input systems code, not my own. Look at that, I'm learning on the spot. So, these right here, the reason that I also like them is because it has, as you can see, gamepad, mouse, touchscreen, joystick, XR controller. It's got inputs for all the various different control types. And that's that good shit. We like that. Has been modified outside the environment. Yes. Reload. Good. Good? You understand stuff? You feeling alright? Alright, cool. So we have that, we have the input actions. We can shrink that back down now. And go back to our scene, which thankfully we didn't lose, because I would have been just a little bit annoyed if we had lost this part. So I also want to give this a collider. I honestly thought this path was not going to have... Oh wait, path is fine, right? I'm going to do the thing that I initially wasn't going to do for this, because I didn't think it was going to have multiple components, but then I did the thing anyway. So I'm going to paste the component there. It has all the same information as what's here, so I should be safe to... Boop. Yep, we're good. It's fine. And I can add to this now, to the top level of this, I will add the collider. A 2D capsule collider that is a trigger, and we are going to set this to this. We don't care about it going further down than the capsule itself, because that rightly doesn't really matter here, except for trying to even out the capsule. So we want this to be that that trigger, so that way when the player overlaps this and they press a button while they're overlapped on it, it will take them into place, right? So we want to make sure that this input mapping that we have set up over here, we can see that there's no interact key. We can also change the word fire to attack. We could see that it's set to the left mouse button, so that's fine. I don't mind using left mouse button to attack. Look, we probably won't wind up using, but it can stay there. Since it's 2D, the camera's not going to be moving. And the move is fine, but we need interact. So you go ahead and hit that plus button there. You name your action, and then you go down to the binding, and you can either do listen or you can manually input it. I'm just going to hit listen, and I'm going to set E as the interact key. And that's done. Make sure you assign it to a control scheme. If you do not assign it to a control scheme, it will not work, because it won't know where to find this magical input. You know? UI, we're not going to mess with anything there. That's just a different map on the same scheme. So technically, if I'm going to go ahead and make thorough UI menus and stuff, this already has the navigation and point and click. It's plug and play, essentially, for how to navigate your menus, which you can then fine-tune. No need for me to do that now, though. Or at all. If I go to the game tab, it's going to show me exactly what the game would look like from the camera's perspective once we're loaded in. That's at a scale 1, but obviously it wouldn't be like that. That also reminds me. The camera. Let's see. Target eye, definitely both, yes. Dynamic res. Probably not. Not too worried about shadows. But we don't really have a light source. Oh, global 2D light, that's fine. Okay. I must be remembering other different things for camera settings in Unreal as well. I've been hopping back and forth between the engines so frequently that it's starting to hurt my brain. Audio mixer and stuff like that, we could technically add that. There's no real necessity for it right now, but we could definitely do that. Go into this folder and create audio mixer. Call it main mixer. Go into the main mixer and you can go to groups. There's the master setting. If you go to volume and hit expose volume of master to script, that makes it an exposed parameter that you can now rename and call master volume. Now you can access that from your script. If you click into groups and click master and click plus, you can say music, and now there's a slider specifically for music that is also affected by the master slider. It is basically the same kind of hierarchy thing we use throughout the rest of the engine. So whatever happens to the parent happens to the child. Whatever happens to the child is independent, technically, of the parent. But that's just how you do this for sound. Oh, sound FX. So we have an SFX slider and a music slider, which means we also have to expose their volume sliders and make sure that we name those. Music, volume, SFX, volume. This is only if we really wind up putting in like a sound control menu like we had in Portal Pong. which, by the way, the game Tetral Invaders that we did a rough design of for the last 2 streams, I'm probably going to actually carry that forward too. I kind of like that idea. I've been getting more interesting creative ideas around it as well, so I feel like I should probably keep track of those for later. We need a player, so we're going to create a player. The player is going to need a sprite. With a sprite renderer. And it's going to be about 5 times bigger than that, 5 times bigger than that. I'll make it 7.5. This is the player. It's wonderful. Okay. This needs a rigid body. We're going to make sure to set gravity scale to 0. Angular drag can be 0. Mass doesn't really matter. Collision data continuous. Sleeping mode is never sleep. We're going to set constraints. We're going to freeze its rotation, and we're going to freeze its Y position. Because once we actually have this set on the Y plane, we don't want it going up or down. This isn't going to be something that jumps around. It's going to enter these, and then it's going to basically be a top-down. Yeah, when it loads into those other levels, I'll make sure to put something that unchecks the freeze position, and I'll put boundaries. Oh, boundaries is something that I definitely need. Yes sir, we need to set those. Make sure to set boundaries. Setting boundaries is important, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stress that enough. Know your worth. Also, make sure your character can't unalive accidentally. This is going to not have a rigid body, but it's going to have a box collider. Not a 2-dimensional one either. Now let's move this over here. And let's turn off 2D real quick so that way we can get a good image of this. Oh. Just set it to -14 then. Easy. So for Z, we're going to set that to a 2, just to definitely make sure that it covers the main area of traversal that we're working with. And now we can go ahead and go back to the 2-dimensional settings and work on that. What's that? Oh, that's also 14. 14 is the lucky number. I thought of something funny. Kind of funny. Minutely funny. Like, really small. Kind of funny. The thing that I thought of was creating a perpetual loop where you can walk past the doors and, like, walk as if you're going to walk off the map, and then it just teleports you right back to the other side. I know how to do that. That's basic Portal Pong. Just boop, boop. Oh no, boop, boop. There's no escape. The only escape would be the door. The door that they have to solve. Yes. I feel like that would be the best. But no, I'm not going to do the teleporting thing. It'd be fun and funny, but it does not exactly fit what I need to get done and accomplish. Set the player down here. And we also... Wait a minute. It did not actually duplicate. That's crazy. Do my, like, the hotkeys are just gone then? Huh. It's crazy. Go right there. Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Alright, that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and, I guess, right-click and duplicate that way because it doesn't want to let me use any shortcut keys. And we're going to rotate this by 90 and extend its scale from a 17 to a 20 to a 25. Yeah, 25. 7.5. Yeah, that'll work. I want to move that down a bit and say, like, right around there is actually fine. Right. Yeah. Cool. It's intersecting with the other ones at appropriate levels. And then we can take this. I keep on doing Control D as if it's gonna fucking do something. I'm gonna do that like that, and I'm gonna go back with this one and do like that. These are just here as a way for the player to not get hurt. Indeed. Not that there's any gravity for the player to, you know, get yeeted downward at, but it also will stop them from... It'll save them from themselves. Yo, Control S isn't working? Hello? That's concerning. That means that my save hotkeys aren't working, and I love using save to make sure that my stuff won't not save. Concerning. We have the player. We gave it a rigid body. I'm going to create an empty, and it's going to be detections, and we're going to create an empty within those detections and say this is just trigger detection, and we'll set it to a box collider, even though we're using a circle. Yes. Box collider 2D, we need to make sure that we set that to isTrigger. Edge radius. Aha! That's nuts. The hell? That's weird. Interesting, but weird. I don't know what it would do. I'm not gonna mess with it. So, trigger detection is set there. We don't necessarily need a physical body type. Like, we don't need to put another box collider and tell it to not be a trigger, because the rigid body tends to act as the physics mass there. So the player should be fine with that, although we will want to add our script for input. Question is, do I want to keep it on the player itself? Sure. Wait a minute. There we go. Now we have a class for the Nightmare player input control. Yes. It's quote-unquote a partial class. Disposable. Interesante. Righto. Uno momento. I actually remember that I have something that I made that will actually tell me what the next step is that I made myself. Haha! Where did I store that? It's gotta be in my recordings. For sure. And I definitely slapped a name on that thing, which means that this is not going to be sorted the right way. Sort by, not name, date. Yes. Do me this honor. I know that y'all can't see what exactly I am tinkering with. There we go. Go ahead and drag and slide and jump and move and jump and move and... Right. I got that. Alright. Cool. I'm at the spot that I need to be at. So, the input manager, still not sure if I was going to put that on the player itself, or did I? Terra, did I, or Terra, didn't I? Alright, so this is going to, player input, let's get rid of these. Generally don't want to keep the template stuff that's in there, even though you will probably wind up generally using one or two of them. You just type it back out yourself when you need it. I'm just going to go ahead and immediately dump in a bunch of empty lines here, just so that I have space, and I feel like I have that space. And first thing we want to do is... You don't necessarily need to do this part. I like adding a header, and the header is going to say... This one is not necessarily supposed to be one of the things that is characterized, like serialized, but it is something that we need, so I'm just going to add it in there. It's a requirement. And this one, however, is a serialized field. No, not that. Thank you. It's going to be the private float for move speed. And this is so that way we can define how fast we want to move. And we're going to declare the move direction, right? Yeah. Move direction. And yes, you can initialize that at like right there when you're declaring it. You can go ahead and tell it that the move direction is set to vector2 0. That means that when you start, you're not moving. That's good. That's okay. That's fine. Alright, so the next is going to be, we want to, perchance, create another header that will say, reference to control map. Oh, yeah. And what that means is it's the Catalina wine mixer. Nightmare player input control. That's what it is. That's why I wanted to specify in the header that it is for the auto-generated thing by Unity, because we did click a button that said auto-generate C# class. So that generated the C# version of the input map, so that way we can access it and get everything from it. So we need to also name this, and we're going to call this one the player controls. There. And the next set of things that I needed to add on here, right, the scripted references for actions. They do not need to be serialized fields or anything, so we're not going to put a header for that. We're just going to put a comment, so that way we understand scripted references to our actions. And what I'm going to put here is the input action. And the reason I keep looking back to my reference for this is because the input action system, being the fact that there's two existing ones, is constantly clashing. And that's just the two existing ones here within this engine. My brain is now also mixing in two input systems from Unreal. So I'm constantly like at war with my own brain of which one I'm actually using and which one I'm remembering that I like using. So input action underscore, this one's going to be the player attack. This is where I can diverge from what's on there. Player move, indeed, and then we have put action underscore player interact. Fuck with me, I know I put the interact up there. Oh, wait a minute, did it save? That's a good question. Autosave is checked, so the interact should be there and available. Cool. Go back to scene and go back to our script, because we definitely want to make sure that that's there. Not player interact target, we don't need that. Okay, I think I can start with our awake function to go ahead and get our rigid body. And I'm definitely going to wind up putting this on the player, because if I'm already like getting the rigid body and stuff like that, then it's just going to be something that I slap on the player. Point blank period. Now let's go ahead and get the player controls, which is going to be a new, there you go. We're not like modifying the core one, we're going to modify this copy of it, essentially, is what that says. When we create a new something, it's creating a new version of that thing. Let's see. Update. Yes. This is going to be for the move direction. You don't want to set that to vector2 0 like that's recommending, so I'm just going to hit delete so that way it stops recommending that. We want that set to player move, dot read value, and we want it to read the vector2 value, and that's it. That is how you do the move direction there. And the fact that we have our rigid body limiting us on the Y position on here isn't going to affect the script at all. It's just going to, you know, affect our ability to use the Y vector, which is up and down. So we're not going to be able to move our character up and down while we're here. When we go into the other areas, I'm basically going to treat it like a top-down and unlock that Y. And then I'm just going to put like a little, just a tiny little square to represent the exit at the southern end, because we're like going north to enter the door. So southern end is where they will be able to retreat back after or during combat, whatever. I need player variables that will travel along the scenes. Either that, or I make these into like different mapped areas, all within the same scene. Ooh, that'd be crazy. I could like create copies or make different scenes, put them up here out of the camera range, and then put a camera at each one, and it'll swap cameras. I need to stop thinking of interesting ways to make this interesting for myself, because I am going to destroy myself with extra work trying to make these things work. I need to stop it. I need to stop. We want to make sure that we set these the actual input actions, because I kind of skipped over that. So we're going to do a private void on enable. And what this is saying is that whenever this object is enabled, whether it's at the start of the game or whether it was disabled and then re-enabled, we want to go ahead and do underscore player move equals underscore player controls dot player dot move, right? And then underscore player, I did capital, my bad, player move dot enable, and then whenever we have a moment where we disable the input manager for whatever reason, we can do an underscore player move dot disable. And that's all that is. So essentially what we did is we assigned this player move value right here, this input action. We made sure that we told it where that action is located so it understands what it is supposed to be doing. It's basically getting the reference to this right here. It's looking for move. It's looking for the vector2 value of move of any of these controller types. So that's what it's looking for. And whenever we're enabled, we want to make sure that it enables that move input. So this is a way to control your inputs even when you don't want, or to have inputs on your map that you don't want your player using just yet, such as unlockables. You don't need to put them on a whole separate, like, mapping. You don't need to create the mapping mystically within code, but you can lock it behind code. And then as they progress, you can go ahead and say, all right, now enable this, the ability, because they completed this thing. This yes or no variable on the player tells the script that they deserve to use ability, so give ability kind of deal. So this is a vast majority of it. There's still a little more, because we need to still tell it which, what the math is for it to move. hopefully that should be easy enough in private void fixed update. So the difference between update and fixed update, this is called every frame, and this one is called every fixed frame rate. So it's the fixed frame rate that this is called is going to be separate from the frame rate of the update, and generally you want to put physics-based stuff in the fixed update. So that is why we will be putting our rigid body dot velocity is equal to new vector 2, which is going to be underscore move direction, not Dior, direction X. Did I get move direction Y on there too? Ah, see, I got it a little too early, because that would invalidate the use of the move speed, so we want to make sure that we get that on there. Same for the Y direction. Hooray! Oh wait, let me verify and make sure that it's not supposed to be normalized. Alright, no normalization. Should be good. I can close that out because I trust myself and I trust my scriptability, especially when I use them as a reminder. So this is going to be input manager. Toss that on there. We're going to set the move speed to 5. And interesting. Our header isn't there. Most unusual. But that is... No, this isn't it. This isn't it. Remove that. What the... This is the one that I was just working on, right? Okay. Let's go to the player. Minimize that rigid body and toss this on there again. Yo, what is going on? This should be crazy. Our headers are not working. And or they are being really weird. Let's see if spacing does anything for it. You gonna show me those headers yet? You're not. That's weird. Alright, well I'm not gonna put it on there if it's not even gonna be a thing. Also, technically, let's go ahead and do that. Why isn't this showing up? Oh, I get. Oh, that's right, because we generate a new one in there. I'm being dumb. Silly me. I have it set to public because I want it to be accessed externally. Okay. Fingers crossed. Let me drop this player down to the below. No, don't do that. Rename him. Get on down there. Can you move? can. And you cannot move up or down. Excellent. That means that we can do this, and you're gone, aren't you? Let's go to scene. Yeah, you went right past the boundaries. Why? Boundary exists. It's not a trigger. It doesn't need a physics material. Uh-huh. Oh, because I did the scaling through here. Right, that makes sense. I was like, why did it retain its information? Most curious. Oh, now Control S remembers to work. That's fun. Let's move that a little closer. Our players shouldn't be able to move past the boundary. And they seem to not give a damn. Let's make sure that they were actually going past the boundary. How close I am to losing my shit. Okay. Like, does this not detect? Am I gonna need to? Am I actually gonna need to put a physical thing on this? Create empty and put a body physical collider, which is going to be a circle collider 2D. We're going to make that radius a 1. No, never mind. It's going to be a 0.75. 7.4, 7.3, 7. Just 7. 6.5. Perfect. Wonderful. Not trigger. Yes, trigger. But technically should be just this for that. Alright. Let's see if this works now. Oh, hey, yeah, that's right. I technically was in the middle of... Oh, no, that means it probably didn't save. It didn't save any of that, I don't think. Yep, it did not. Because the game was running. Yep, that's the thing that happens. Body, physical, detection, or not detection, this is collider. Add it right back on there. We know the magic number is just tossing a 6 right here. That's good. Make sure that that is not trigger. This one is trigger. And everything is wonderful. Right? Ye old chap, old bean. Yeah. Oh, right. I know why. It's because now all the boundaries need to be changed to match the 2D. I really thought the 3D would kind of make it easier, but no, it just complicated everything. So let's go ahead and do the box collider 2D, and since everything else was done via the scale instead of using the actual edit collider, now we can just kind of easy street modify. Didn't expect it, but I'm not mad about it. Oh, let's go back to 2D. and get rid of this. Add that last box collider 2D. And let's make sure that that left boundary is in an okay spot, right? That very first one. That feels a little too close. And this one to the right should be now okay as well. Yes. Yes. Fredberg. And if I try and do diagonal, which is like, there's me adding up input, you can notice I slow down ever so slightly. That's because it's splitting the value of input from 0 to 1, and it's splitting it with the two different input values of left or right, depending on which one I'm pressing, and then the Y value of up or down. So it's slowing it down a little bit because it's trying to account for that speed. I'm going to need to create a front of this character. I just realized that. Because without a front of the character, they won't know which direction they are attacking. Ow. Oh yeah, buddy. So initially, our player was this knob. Let's go ahead and swap this out for... I like how they don't have, like, the other sprites here available, but we very plainly have capsules available. Right? Like, they're kind of being dicks. So we're going to go to our path, and we're going to find the capsule sprite. Oh, that's you right there? Oh, how cute. So you exist. Ain't that something? Yeah, no, you'll be fine. Welcome to your new home. Oh my god. That's right, because we had to inflate that knob. Giggity. Alright, now we can change the colliders that we have on it, because now it's a better player shape. Duplicate. I'm not going to change the sprites actively. I'm just going to toggle them. Disable, enable. Nice and easy. This one is going to be the knob. Or we can just use a circle. Look at the little character! Oh boy! Hey, yo. Where are all these hidden? This is great stuff. Could use those icons. I went too far up. We want... I'm gonna go with... What is this? Circle mask. We can go with circle. If I go ahead and disable the side view sprite, we can see that... yeah, cool. Nice. I think we might also try and... for at least the top-down sprite, modify it just a little bit more. I'm going to copy the current sprite renderer that it's got. Put it up here as well. Do a paste component as new. And we're going to set that color to black. -1. And now we're going to 0.15. Or 1.15. one more itty bitty kind of thing. Top down underscore outline, and we want one last thing. Forward indicator. Actually not sure about that forward indicator. That would require me rotating stuff. We'll just have to get close and hope that when they click, we'll have to do like an attack in that direction. That'll be fine. I don't need the forward indicator anymore. Top-down outline, though, does still work for us. We don't need that on the side view. But we can do it. Yeah, I think I'll do it anyway. Nope, not that. Let me pay attention to what I'm doing. Side view. Outline. Same old. Copy component, paste it. And then change the color. I don't want the outline as thick, so this one will be 0.05, 1.05, and make sure that we set it to -1. There you go. Oh, hold up. That puts that part of the shadow on the outside. Oh, wait, it is an outline, not a shadow. No way! I mean, technically the floor isn't real. I remember that now. So technically I can put it... Oh no, that's right. Everything else is based off of where it is. Darn. Whatever, it'll be fine. It'll look like a light is shining on it from where the camera's at. It'll be cool. Sure. Am I fooling anyone with how much this bothers me? Let's hope not. The trigger detection, that's right, we still have to change that. We're gonna remove this and turn it into a capsule collider 2D. That's the trigger detection, and this is going to be side view trigger detection. Duplicate for a top down. And this one isn't going to be a capsule, this one is going to be a circle equal to not this one, but this one. Wow. Yeah, no, that's pretty damn accurate. Okay, cool. Oh wait, was that even the thing? No. I'm dumb. I didn't. There we go. Oh, this is also the body physics collider for the side. Set that to 0.55, and this is going to be top down. Oh, hey, look, Control D is working again. That's crazy. I love how these hotkeys just enable and disable themselves, like, all on their own. Salty or bad. I'm mad about it at all. Let's go ahead and make sure that we delete the extra numbering that they tacked on there. And this needs to change from a circle collider to the capsule collider. And we need to change from the top-down sprite to the side view, so that way I can see and make sure that our side view physics collider is correct, and it is not. And so, we fix that. Right around there ought to be good. Yes, yes. Okay. So for right now, the top-down collisions should be toggled off. We're using side view. Probably go ahead and make a few things to control those toggles. So we're going to do that in the... We're going to create a player script now, one that isn't the input manager. Right, make sure we clear out unnecessary usings up here. Oh, wait a minute. Nah, we'll delete them for now. If I need them, I'll add them in later. There we go. There we go. And give that a bunch of space. First up, for a player, we want health, right? So let's go ahead and serialize field for a private integer that is going to be our max HP. We're also going to initialize this as a base 5, just so that way if we forget to do it in the editor, we've already got it in code that there's a backup, like, default value of 5. Next, we want to make sure that we set an int of current HP, not hop, current HP. We're not going to initialize that because that's going to be done in our awake function, which we can technically just go ahead and do that right now. So there's our awake function, and current HP is equal to max HP. Done. We only do that once at the start. Next, we already have the player speed being managed by input manager, so we don't need to do any kind of player speed values. But we are going to create actually, no. Gotta have a lot of bools in this business. Not bulls, bools. B-O-O-L. S. So for anyone that doesn't know what a bool is short for Boolean, which is B-O-O-L-E-A-N. And what that does is, what it is true or false. Yes or no. 1 or 0. That's all it is. So when you have a bool variable, you're basically saying that something that is equal to a true or false. And you can have a bunch of, stuff go ahead and dictate whether it is true or false, but ultimately that variable will return true or it will return false. So what kind of bools do we need? Well, most, if not all of them, are going to be private ones, so we don't need to worry too much about that. So private bool. Well, first we definitely want to have an attacking one, so perhaps one that prevents us from interrupting our own attack, so we need to check if we're already attacking. So is attacking equals false right off the bat, because when we spawn in, we're definitely not going to be just attacking. Private bool. Do we want a moving one? Do we want, well, if we're attacking, we also need one for getting hit, right? If we're injured, we want to give ourselves some iframes. So, underscore being damaged equals false for right now. What else do we need? Moving? Is moving? We can, oh, we definitely need to have a reference to the input manager. So we want to go ahead and say private input manager. There you go. And then in awake, we probably want to get that before we even get the HP. Actually. Oh, hold up. That went too far. Yeah, what I had was fine. It's like, let the HP happen, but also, there we go. This is also already on the player, so that should be fine. Go back to these. We can say set bool moving to false. Oh, wait, we need to go ahead and say top down or not, right? That's going to be an important one. So we're going to say this one is actually, I think I want to set this one to a public. Nah, it'll be fine as private. Private bool in hub equals true. Actually, I'm not even going to initialize that one. That one's just going to exist for right now. Private bool is top down. I can't put question mark as a part of it. Shame. Derpy. All right. So for these two, they're kind of almost the same thing, but essentially when we are not in the hub and I toggle that to false, I'm gonna have it also do a check to see if we are in our top-down configurations or not. And those are gonna be functions that we create down here. So, I might need to do a little something. Create new scene. This one's going to be number room. Duplicate that. Rename it from number room to operator room. And I think that should be it for now. Shouldn't expect to try and be able to do too much here. So I wanted those assigned. I wonder if I have my level manager available. Just make another one. Actually, yeah. Level manager. So one of the things that we need to do with this right off the bat, after getting rid of the unnecessary usings, is to make sure we have one of the actual necessary usings, which is going to be... No, it's called... Unity engine feature, right? Levels. Scene management, that's what it is. So for scene management, oh, my scene fields. Those could possibly help. Unless, let me not worry about it. Scene manager dot. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Let's see. Private string. Hub name or hub level name. We'll set that equal to hub numbers nightmare. Hub underscore numbers underscore nightmare. So now this string is saved as that. Private string number level name equals number room. Private string operator level name equals operator. I don't think I need to actually set the scene manager as a thing, especially since I can kind of do stuff now. So if I go to public dot or public void open hub level, I'm just gonna say enter hub level. And this is going to be scene manager dot, let's see, load the scene by its name or index in the build setting. So we can do load scene, and notice that it said by name, so we can literally just drop in hub level name there, and that's done. Public void enter number level. Look at that, it understands what we want. It got a little funky for a second, but it had the right spirit. Now that we have those base functionalities in there, we want to do a little contingencies. Hey, AppMan, welcome. We want to make sure that this is well, obviously if application is playing, but that's going a little too excessive there. See if scene manager dot active scene. Where can I get active scene? There we go. Get active scene. This is actually something that I could put at the very start. So if I go to awake and drop that in there, we can call the enter hub level command right there. Or we can say if get active scene is not equal to scene manager dot get scene by name and then hub level name. No, what am I doing? This is going to be a multiple level thing and I'm not doing a whole bunch of like crossover stuff. I'm building too modularly again. I need to smack my hand when I start doing that. Get active scene. If our current scene is not equal, this is what I should be putting down here, not up here. I don't need this in Awake. That was from my former bad idea that would have expanded my scope. I don't want that. No expanded scope here. While the active scene is not the, this. So I'm going to get this, and then I'm going to change the load scene part of that command to get scene by name. So if the active scene is not already the hub level name when we call enter hub level, then we will go ahead and load the scene for the hub level. And now we're going to do basically this for all the other ones. All the other ones meaning just these other two. Number level name. And we'll toss it down here as well. Oh, it's probably going to give me the option already. Yeah? No. I'll do my thing. Change hub to operator. And look at that. All good. So that's how those will work out. I might need to public static class this. Oh, this should also have if instance is null. Instance equals this. Else destroy this. The whole game object. So what this code right here does is when we make something a public static class over here, it means that it's going to generate a version of itself, and it's going to just kind of exist there in the level, which means that we can access it from any other class that's in the level. We just call out to this instance of the level manager, and we do that by typing level manager.instance dot whatever we want this level manager to do based off what it's already got. And we want this level manager to, if it doesn't have an instance of it already existing, it becomes the instance, and then if it does have that instance of it already existing, then it'll destroy this new copy that shouldn't exist. So this is a contingency for when you're carrying scripts and information over from scene to scene. What type of educational game am I making? A basic math one. I do not have the time or mental capacity at the moment to come... Well, I can think of a lot of fancier stuff, but I would never be able to do it in the time I have. Even if I started 2 days ago, I wouldn't have the time to do the other ideas that were coming to my head. It's like, I'd need to do too much. So this one is as simple as I can make it. It's going to be this little 2D side-scroller as the hub level, where the player can move left and right and choose a door to go through. But the main door that they want to go through, the goal door to go through, is going to have a number, and in order to reach that number, they need to do the right combination of numbers and operators to reach that number. So the number is going to be something that they won't be able to reach on their own just by grabbing a number, so it can't be something low, like between 1 and 10. And then the numbers that you can use are going to be like spawned between numbers 1 and 5. And there's going to be a couple multiples of them, so you can do like 5 plus 5 plus or multiplied by whatever to do this and that and the other. If you need specific numbers, then you can probably work with division to get to that number to work with, etc., etc. So it's a mathematic edutainment puzzle. So we have our level manager here. I'm probably going to refine a level management script and those other things off screen, just because I know that I have really good functioning templates for them already. So I'll go through and compare against those. We already did enough of me going back and forth between my own templates just to get movement. So we're also going to need to take care of the ability to interact and all that stuff. So let's make sure that we add that. Look at that, it knew that I wanted interact before I wanted attack. That's crazy. Player controls dot player dot interact, and then look at that, it knows! It knows! Player move is already enabled there. There you go. And now over here we can go ahead and put the other ones for player interact disable and player attack disable. Okay, so that should be the majority of our inputs, at least. It should be able to understand them. So in order to double check that, I'm going to put an update function in here. And I want to see if move is the name of the thing, right? Yeah, it is literally just player.move. Muy interesante. Right. So we want to see if input manager dot, nope, don't do that. Player controls dot move. Hello, hello, what's this? Oh, right. Player dot no interact. Let's see. Action map, active control. Okay, so if canceled is there, that's gotta mean that there's gotta also be the... Yeah. There's gotta be another method for it that isn't one of these event listeners. Ah, in progress is a good one. Triggered is another one. That's the one I want. We want to know if interact was triggered, and then if it was, we'll print out interact link is working. I'm gonna kind of step by step this as best I can, because I've been running into a few problems and issues with trying to lay down too many groundwork things for later, and then later never comes because I run out of time. So let's go ahead and hit play. Never mind. I can't undo it right now, but there you go. We forgot to add the player script. There we go. Oh, also one last thing. Probably not last either. I'd just be talking a lot. This is script. We'll go here. Yeah? No. Where is it? Oh, we don't even have the event system in here. I guess that's fine. So we have movement. The interact link is working. Each time I press that button, it is giving a message. I can actually end the collapse and we can watch that. Yeah, buddy. Interact link works. That's wonderful. Let's collapse those notifications back down. So now that means that we can set something up for the path here. We have the trigger capsule collider, and we can go ahead and set a bool up. We can make this one actually a more public bool too. We'll do a hide in inspector attribute, and we'll serialize the field. We'll get rid of the rest of the stuff that it auto-fed us. I wonder. Should be able to just do that, right? Yeah, there we go. Hide in inspector, serialize field. Public. Bool. In doorway. So for these paths, I'm going to go ahead and put a path teleport, new script named path teleport. And it's going to automatically add that script to the path, and it's going to create that script for me. But it's not going to put it in my script folder. No, sir. It's going to drop it right in the middle of my asset folder. So we go up and we relocate it ourselves. So that way we can open it up and view it here in Visual Studio. Ah, the solution has been modified outside. Yes, of course. Sure. Go ahead. Now, this path teleport is only really going to... It does need the capsule collider. It doesn't necessarily need to be a capsule collider, actually. I'll set up a bool for it. For controlling scene manage, or scene transition triggers from path, door paths. Go down here, get rid of these. First things first, let me set that private pool I just thought about. Actually, let me make that a public pool. Public pool, and this will be hub to room. So if that's set to true, that means that the collider that will be chosen is going to be the capsule collider 2D, and if not, then it'll be a box collider 2D that will be smaller in size, and all that other stuff. And I'll size up that second one, you know, later. But this one's for the path. So, let me add that note. Checked. Collider used should be capsule 2D. Else circle collider. Or box. Whoops. Box. There you go. And we're also going to do a... We're going to make a little enum value. Which, technically, I think I'm going to make it here in the level manager. Public enum... playable level. And we're going to have... menus equals 0. Hub equals 1. Number room equals 2. And what you call it? The other thing. Operator room. We're setting goal there just as a thing, just in case. I don't think I'm going to have anything for that one, but it doesn't hurt to have it. It's just an enum value. So now that we have that there, we can go ahead and say here, serialize field. private playable level. Level to how do I want to name this? Destination level. That's how I'm naming it. Now the question is, how would I associate these together? Oh, right, I could associate it together with a goddamn dictionary, but I don't really want to go back into dictionaries so soon. But this will be fine. If we set that, then it'll know what to do. So, let's say that private void on trigger enter 2D, which shouldn't matter which type of 2D collider it is, as long as it's a 2D collider. So hopefully this will work for the various different types of collision that we're getting. But on trigger enter 2D, first thing to check is if it's the player. So if... oh my god. If collision.gameObject.compareTag player, then we want to make sure that we set collision.gameObject, or make a variable for the player rather. Collision.gameObject, that's honestly just fine. I'll work with the rest from there. So let's see, player dot get component. What do I want from my player? I want player. Right? If they enter this path teleport trigger, then I want it to get the player and what's the variables that we have here? In doorway, that's what we want to set to true. We'll make this a public void here, public void enter doorway. Okay. So entering the doorway is going to be what actually teleports us to the given location, so we'd want to check what the destination level is set to while we're here. So this will be a switch based off destination level. Alright, so this switch will need several cases. So the first case is going to be playable level menus, and we're just going to basically just skip over that, because that one doesn't really matter. Next is going to be case hub. If the hub is the level that we are to be loaded into, then I'm going to put here trigger perspective toggle for player. And then we'll do a break here. Next case is going to be the number room, which is going to, again, trigger perspective toggle for player, and then we're going to level manager dot instance dot enter number level. What? What's going on? You son of a bitch. Dot instance dot enter number level. That was dirty. It was like, hey, I know that you put code that is entirely different from this one or two other cases that you did, but let's just go ahead and destroy that. That was wild. So you can see that I didn't need to get a reference or anything to the level manager, and it's because we created it as a, we told the level manager to make an instance of itself at the start, so it just kind of exists as a public static class for things to access. So we do that by doing level manager.instance and then accessing what we need, such as our public enter hub level feature, or the enter number level, or the inevitable enter operator level. We'll do the trigger perspective toggle, and then level manager dot instance dot enter operator level. No. No, stop it. Stop it. I know that if I hit enter, it would have just gone ahead and replaced what I just wrote with break. I wasn't going to have that happen again. Default will be debug.log error determining destination level from path. We're going to do a plus, and we're going to do a game object dot name. And that's it. Actually, we can go back to where you are. It's fine. Good. So we haven't done the perspective toggle yet, but that's just going to be a function that I create in the player that's going to get the references of the different perspective objects that I put on it, and then do a quick swap. Should honestly be the same for this path teleport, so I'm going to create 2 serialized private fields. Yep. And it's going to be This one's going to be side view collider, and honestly, let's go ahead and set this to what it's supposed to be. The side view collider is a capsule for the path, right? Capsule collider 2D. And then we're going to serialize field again. Private box collider 2D. Oh, top-down collider. And on update, either on update or on start, we could tell this thing what collider to set itself to based on like where it is. You know what? Let's just do that already. Rather than me talk it out here, let's talk and do. So we want this to be a private void awake. So this is all the stuff that's going to happen, like, as soon as this is instantiated, spawned in, the level's loaded, and this thing needs to start doing stuff. And these are the first actions that it's going to take. So, if hub to room, then we're going to make sure that our top... I started to write top. Why did you... Enabled is false. Enabled is true. Stop that. There you go. So, essentially, this is telling it that when it is a path going from the hub world into a room, like exactly what we're looking at. So what I have, not close to my face, there you go. This, and I'm not talking about the tentacle, I'm talking about the stuff behind it. That is a path. That is the pathway. So if that pathway is going from the hub to the room, which is exactly what this one does, it is going to be using the side view collider, which is the capsule collider that it currently has on it. Once it is no longer, like if I go to a different scene and I pull this, what I'm going to be making this prefab is why. When I pull this prefab out and drop it into that new scene, I can go ahead and tell it not to be a hub to room, because it's a public, so I can go ahead and set that myself, and then it will just not use the collider for a capsule. Instead, it'll use the top-down collider of a box collider 2D. So that way, as the player goes ahead and enters that doorway, it'll go ahead and spit them back out here into a side view setting. Huzzah! La-da. Let's do a private playable level current level, and I want that to be it's going to be something that I feed to the player, I think. So I'm gonna put that in there. Oh, wait, I don't need to put another comment, actually. I can just overwrite this one because it's no longer needed because of this. Speed, current level, and destination level to player script for positioning info. So essentially when I have this thing spit me out into a new room, I'm gonna want to make sure that it puts me back at the same doorway whenever I come back through. So I needed to save that information of where that door was when I went into it, and then when I go back through that door, it'll put me back in that position. We can save that, and I am going to... Honestly, it's about to be 7:45. I need a little bit of time. My stomach is being irate, and I don't want to stop before at least 9 o'clock. So I'm going to take a little break of about 5 minutes. If I go over, please forgive me. I don't eat very often. That sounds so bad, but I just am not hungry earlier in the day. Right around now is when I would be eating dinner on a normal day, so that's why I always start getting hungry around now. It's the thing. So give me a moment, and I will be right back. Thank you for your patience. microphone volume back. There we go. And now I'm bringing me back. I'm here. I didn't eat all of my snacks, but enough to hold me over. Okay. So, I will definitely be leaving on time today at 9 because I have, which is in an hour, because I actually have the opportunity to watch a movie that was initially released in, let's see, what was the release date for this film? Is this one of the first 70s ones? Brand new 4K restoration. Yeah, no, this was from 1973. It's called Hollywood 90028. And I've never seen it before, and the cover is seemingly covered in borderline nudity and or full nudity. Nice. Anyway, lead actress is going to be, or the lead actress that was in that film is going to be doing her first and probably only in-person interview, signing autographs and talking about the making of the film with and the Q&A is going to be done with the host, which is my teacher, which is kind of awesome. I saw his name there and I was like, and it's going to be with wait, and I totally forgot that he's the one that told us about this. So I'll be going to that tonight because I believe the last film should be starting at like 10 or 10:30, which is the film that I haven't seen from this lineup. Alright, back to this. So we're going to say this goes to the numbers room. While we were off camera, I just clicked on path, which already had our path teleport script on it, and checked it out. So hub to room, I went ahead and checked that. I went ahead and provided the reference for the side view collider, which was just, I made a collider's child object, and I moved our collider from the path down to its own side view collider, which now we'll also just go ahead and duplicate that, rename it, remove the number, and put top down. And we'll change this from a capsule collider, set remove, box collider 2D, and we honestly don't need to worry about its current shape and size. I'll probably just cut the Y down to 0.5, and we'll save it at that for right now. Make sure that that's set to trigger, and that should be it, right? Is effector, direction, vertical? Yeah, because they're two different types of shapes, and that's why it looks different. So now we can go back to path. We can hit this little lock icon up here, so that way it doesn't change when we look at something else. And we can grab the top-down collider and drag it into the top-down collider thing right there. And so, based on if the prefab for the path is meant to be a hub to room or room to hub, it will toggle those colliders appropriately. Know what? Nah. No need to make it a function for toggling it. It's not like the door itself is moving with us. It just needs to be set, and that's it. I'm gonna have to do a don't destroy on load type of thing for our player, and the input manager, and the level manager so far. So that way they move with one another through each level, and that way it doesn't instantiate and like create a brand new one each level. We want it to kind of all be in one. Private void take damage. Not a float, but an int, thank you. Not an omt, an int. And if being damaged, meaning when we put the exclamation point in front of that statement, we're saying if it's not. So basically we're saying if that thing is false, the negative result of the thing. So by saying if exclamation underscore being damaged, we're checking to see if it's not being damaged. We're going to get current HP minus equals damage. And then if current HP is greater than 0, then we can set iframes or whatever. And then in iframe, oh wow, in an iframe timer, after waiting for iframes to end, call /toggle being damaged. Alright. That's one of the first things we need to do is being damaged equals true. And then over here, we can go ahead and set being damaged is false. Else private bool defeated equals false. We'll set that as initially, but there you go. If you've been defeated, you lose. Good. Ow. I'm trying to think how I am going to approach it's like I can see various different like three-dimensional displays of how and several different types of attacks can work playing through my brain. Almost all of them require me to do way more than just a simple point and click behind the scenes, and I'm trying to make these more complicated ideas evacuate the dance floor. But I'm infected by the sound. Ah! It's making me lose my mind. But that's okay, that'd be going a little too far. Also, this shouldn't be a private. That's a public. So if in doorway, That's what I was coming up here for. We can get rid of this print interact link is working, and we can go ahead and change this to if in doorway. So if we're in a doorway, we're going to what are we? We are a pleasant little pillbox. No. Darn. Oh no, that's for asynchronous commands. We're not using that. Darn, dern, and dangle. I flipped this the wrong way. Or rather, I'm going too far. I'm first trying to see if I can get those connections to, like, detect. I'm doing the thing again, so let me sit down, shut up, slow down, and check to see if I can be detected by the door before I go crazy. Unfortunate. Oh wait, that's right, I haven't told it to friggin' do anything if I did. I need positive reinforcement every now and again, even if I have to give it to myself. Giggity. And also sad. And also joking! Ha ha ha! Alright, let's go ahead and touch the doorway. See if the path recognizes us. It doesn't. It does not. We can plainly see that this is not something that is happening. This overlap does not exist. How can it not exist? It's literally causing overlap issues. Okay. That's the stuff currently active on the player, yes. Let's see what is currently active on the path. The colliders, yes. Oh! The top-down should be disabled. Why is it not in a state of disability? This does not vibe with me. Oh wait, no, the object itself was technically still on, but the collider was turned off. That's right, because I set it to be collider based. Let me look at that again. Let me see if box collider disappears from there when we go to scene. Yeah, see how it's unchecked? It's gone. And then over here, capsule collider is active. So this is working to go ahead and determine which collider to use. That's fun. Now we need to figure out why it's not recognizing player. I understand why it doesn't recognize player. Do you understand why it doesn't recognize player? I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not recognizing player because player is not set in our tags anywhere yet. So we want to go ahead and set that player tag. Without it, it doesn't understand what we're telling it to do when it looks for that player tag. What educational games have you played? I played Reader Rabbit. I played quite a few growing up. Mavis Beacon taught me how to type. And it seems like I've thrown all of that out the window only in recent years. I played Zoombinis, I played Mega Math Blasters, I played a bunch of nameless ones, I played a bunch of ones that were on Newgrounds, I played just a lot. I've had a long history of gaming. Reader Rabbit was probably along those. I think Hyperman from Windows 95 or Windows 98 was technically also an educational game, but it was like a point-and-click investigation style. I played the Carmen Sandiego games, and I don't know why they thought these games would be a wise place to try and have children learn to translate very specific words and phrases in languages like Swahili. I still remember the robotic voice asking me to translate things in various different languages from around the world, and I was dumbfounded at how they expected us to know it because they didn't give us anything that would kind of learn it. But eventually you started to get a general gist, you know, just based off association. This person is speaking like this, and the last time I got this wrong, it told me that this is where they are and what they're doing. And it was a really cool way to try and get people interested in learning how to navigate and understand the different regions of the world. So I enjoyed Carmen Sandiego for that. There's probably a bunch of others that I'm, like, conveniently forgetting at the moment, but they were there, they existed, they were great. I'm a big fan of the quote-unquote edutainment concept. Still not getting that recognition. Okay. Let's go here and see what happens. When we go back in. No collision. It is not recognizing at all. And I think I once again understand why. So let me go down to colliders on the player. Yeah, the player detections. How's that? I mean, technically, I also want it to recognize the rigid body. So I'm gonna... Are you gonna do the thing? You're not gonna do the thing. You still refuse to recognize it. Okay. Set that back again. The detections are tagged as player. This is definitely looking for a player tag. One more time now. Quit healing! Negative. Okay. What are you not detecting? Those are both triggers. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm going to see if it detects it at all. Had a random space in there. Just a simple, huh? If it detects anything. Yeah, for real, in Swahili. It's like, how do you say, have you seen this man in Swahili? And then it gives you multiple choice answers. And I'm like, in what now? I'm a Puerto Riqueño. I only know English, Spanish, and Spanglish. That's it. That's all I knew back then. Definitely expanded my horizons from a young age. It just did it in weird ways, and I didn't really comprehend the size of the world. It just kind of illuminated the amount of differences that there are between different cultures. Which, in and of itself, good thing to learn when you're young. So that way you don't expect everyone to be exactly like yourself. So notice we're not getting anything here. This path is not reporting any kind of overlaps or triggers. I'm wondering why. Let's do on trigger, enter 2D, print. Collision.gameObject.name plus that spacebar detected. Alright, that'll print out anytime that we've hit a... Anytime our 2D trigger detects something, that'll trigger and tell us what it was that it detected. On collision enter 2D, we're going to do the same thing. And then over here in the path teleport, I think I'm going to change this over to, or I'm going to add a private void on trigger stay 2D. And that's on trigger stay 2D is called once per frame. Damn. So it should work. We have now contingencies across both our player and our pathway. I didn't put something on the on trigger stay for the player because I don't want this to be swarmed with a bunch of like repeats of floor, because I have a feeling that the floor is going to be causing this overlap issue. It's not. Nothing's printing out. Side view collider detected. That came from my player. Wait a second. It's printing out twice? Oh, because it's doing it for the on collision and then the on trigger. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely detecting the pathway there. The pathway, however, is not really detecting me. So perhaps, perchance, we need to avoid setting this to in doorway as a public thing set through here. I think we can set it as a private thing instead and not get crazy fancy with it. do a private bool in doorway. And on trigger enter, we're going to go ahead and say if collision dot game object dot name dot starts with. That's right, that's something that exists. So if the name starts with path, then what we want to do is store the path and the path teleport script, particularly. So we're going to say that path teleport proximal doorway is equal to, yep, there you go. And then from there we can set in doorway equals true. I think I can get rid of the on collision enter and not worry about that one for right now. We'll stick with on triggers for these doorways. Let me go ahead and save that on there. And now that we have a reference to it, we're going to want to call its enter doorway whenever we do interact. So over here, we're going to do KU if input manager control interact triggered, and if we are in the doorway, hang on. I need to do something. Private path teleport recently, or I'm just gonna put detected path, and we're gonna change this from proximal doorway to detected path. Private void on trigger exit 2D. We want to make sure that we have the same thing here for an if statement to start out with. Then we want to set detected path equals null. In doorway equals false. On trigger stay if collider, or my bad, if collision dot, basically the same damn thing. Then we're gonna add an or in here, or rather we're gonna add and, because we want to make sure what we're doing here is doing a contingency. If we are still triggered overlapping with the path, but in doorway is false, then we want to set in doorway equals true. Alright, that should work. Should. Being the operative word. Should. Okay, this might actually teleport me. And by that I mean it might load a new level. So let's go ahead and make sure that this one is saved. Oh no, I've been doing all that while it's running. It's okay. They were script changes, not changes in the editor. Yeah, I know. We're not using moving defeated as attacking yet. That's great. I'm not working on the attack yet. Stop it. Annoying little console, huh? We're going to attach this to Unity, and I'm going to hope. I'm not going to hit play yet because I still haven't done the thing to actually acquire the doorway and do detected path dot hub to room. Let's see. Let's do it. If right there. Because it's going to need to toggle a change anyway, a change in the player. But if it's hub to room, then we need to not do the hub command, or the hub one. That means that we need to swap to bucket. Get rid of this one. This is getting too far into just a basic test. So if in doorway after we've hit the interact key, we're going to go into that detected path and get its destination. Oh, I can just do enter doorway and it'll do it based off whatever I set. Durr. That was the whole point of the function. Make life easier. Now let's go to the path teleport and make sure that this path that we have told it, all right, cool, destination level is the number room. Very good. Our number room is an empty scene, so we'll just be prepared. If we wind up getting loaded into an empty scene, good news, it works. Step 1. Detected. Step 2. Step 2 is a failure. A failure, I say. I want to see if it's at least getting there, and if it's messing up at the detected path enter doorway, then I'll know where to look for issues, you know? Or could it be? I know what it is. They're not in there. Now that we drag them both there, that should be fine. Goodbye. Let's try that again. So if you don't tell Unity build settings that you have other scenes, it's not going to understand what to do. Just like this still doesn't seem to understand what to do. Even so far that it's not using the try to use path. Oh wait, did I forget to do the thing where it actually toggles? No, it should. Where's update? obviously, right here. So we're gonna print in doorway. That's it. We're just gonna have it print on update non-stop to tell us when we're in the doorway and when we are not in the doorway. So considering it's all gonna be collapsed down into one another when they're duplicate messages, I'm just gonna look at the increasing or decreasing number of messages. Or not decreasing, but just whichever ones are increasing. The overlap or not overlapped. Okay, so currently not in doorway. Side view collider detected, but we're still being set to not in doorway. Okay. Alright, so instead of doing a starts with path then, since it's only understanding the base level of the collider that it's hitting, we're going to set a tag for the pathways and just set it as, yeah, pathway. The tag is pathway. This, pathway. This, pathway. Pathway. My god. Okay. So now what we can do is change this from a .name.starts with into a .compare tag. And change that to pathway. So now we can take this, copy it, and substitute it here, and here. And let's see if that works. Uh-huh. We have truth. And then it goes back to false. And back to truth. And I hit E, and object reference not set to instance of an object, set to 83, detected path. Ah, I see. So it ditched the reference. Actually, hang on. We'll do detected path question mark equals, and then we'll do that. They shouldn't use what now? Use the null comparison. No coalescing paths? Okay, fine. It doesn't want to do it for... It said it was because it was a game object, so technically I guess I can understand that. I have to BRB. I gotta go grab something. Oh, before I run off, let me read that. It's odd the algorithm is playing games with me the same week when I had to make educational video games as when the algorithm promotes a VTuber girl playing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Ha! Ha! The algorithm knows all! back. Oh, that's a good 4 hours worth of laundry. Let me go grab my patrol cap again. Alright. So, where the hell was I before I got all out of breath for no good reason? Right, we're doing this. And we should probably have that on the main thing here. Basically setting detected path equal to the result of if it isn't null, then yada yada. It's basically compounding a bunch of different assignments that I would have had to go ahead and check and screw with. So let's hope that it works. In fact, now that we know that this is fine, the next thing I'm going to do is detected path, game object. Detected path dot game object dot name is going to be what prints, and it will only print if in doorway. Okay. So now theoretically, whenever we enter the doorway, oh wait, no wait, I don't want it to be set to if in doorway. I know what I wanted. If detected path is not null. That's what I wanted. So whenever it's not null, it's going to print out the name of the path that we have acquired, and if it is null, which it should only be null when we leave the area of the pathway door, then it should stop printing. As of right now, we're good. Side view colliders detected, and now we hit oh wait, technically it should already be printing. Yeah, it should definitely already be printing. Oh, I did the wrong thing. I wanted that attached to Unity. So this isn't working so far. So let's go ahead and get rid of all the fancy shit and set it to something a little more basic that works, and not something that IntelliSense is trying to tell me will work when it doesn't. If detected path is null, then that's when we look for, when we do this. Collision.gameObject, get component, path teleport. Perfect. Get rid of the rest of this shit. Perfect. Nope. So whenever we go into a pathway, in doorway is set to true, and if the detected path is false, we will go ahead and fill that game object collision pathway thing with get component, path teleport. Oh wait, I didn't store it anywhere, did I? That's probably why. Oh wait, no, that was from, because I just cut it out of the previous one. Detected path equals. There we go. Let me copy this. Place that. Hooray! This should make the most sense even. Get rid of these warnings. Alright. Show me that you still don't understand. Trying to use path and no reference. detected path, enter doorway. Object reference not set to instance of an object. Makes sense, because this never changed. So why isn't it acquiring that? It's definitely having the detections happen, or at least it was, right? Print. Player detected, or path detected. Attempting to store. I'm gonna get rid of the not in doorway part. I'm just gonna have this as a double down of the same on trigger enter. Really just trying to get this thing to recognize it. Do the thing. Path detected, attempting to store. But then it just doesn't. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Because then it does say the game object's detected. Should be fine since I put the stop point there. It should automatically stop itself. There we go. See, detected path is still being marked as null. Collision.gameObject. God damn it. Alright. I understand again. Our colliders are set to a child object on where the main script for the path is. Let's reset this. I done did it again. Oops. So because I was telling it to get component, it was looking inside the path colliders side view collider. So it was getting the owner of this specific component of Capsule Collider 2D, which is side view collider. And in the side view collider, we don't have a path teleport script, but we do up here in the parent in path. Path teleport, there it is. So now let's see. Look! And it's printing out because it now knows that we're not null. Oh. And then I try to use the path and it goes nuts. But we definitely have a path there. It's stored, it's saved. So then why, pray tell, does it not let me use the doorway? Let's turn off the on-trigger stay. Let's see what happens. In order to comment all that out, if you don't know by this time, it is to highlight what you want to comment out and then hold Control and then hit the keys K and C. In order to undo a bunch of comments like that, you can highlight the commented area and hold Control and then hit KU to uncomment it. Still fails, and then when I leave, it does correctly drop the path that we have stored. Yeah, no, that's working. That much is working, so... Object reference not set to an instance of... Oh. Did you jump down here? Is it issues here? Okay. Okay, I can work with this. Hold up. It jumped down to number room. It did actually do that. And then entering number level. It looks to make sure that our active scene isn't the number level already. Son of a bitch. Little itty bitty correction. Nothing wrong with little bitty corrections. Little bitty anything. Unless it's a little itty bitty bit of racism or genocide. Those things are horrible and should never have any quantities of them be allowed. Okay? Okay. As long as we're all understood. Okay. Let's try it again. I'm determined to try and get this working before we sign off at 9 minutes. Still not working. Let's attach here and okay. So it's going for switch destination. Destination is set to number room. Let's step into this. Okay. Level manager. Oh my god. Chat, just because the script exists does not mean that the level manager just instantiates itself. I forgot to attach it to a permanent object in the scene. Oh boy, I'm a shit idiot for that one. Okay, I got it. We're good. We're gonna create an empty, call that level handler. Give it a little underscore there to make it all fancy. And then we go to our scripts. And we get the level manager and we put it there so that way it exists for it to be used at all. Why am I dense? Okay. The goal is to have this load up an entirely new scene. In fact, I'm gonna stop this because I forgot to save. So we're going to save everything real quick. And then we're going to hit play, and we're gonna see how this goes. Okay. Please load a new scene. Our doors work. Our paths work. That means that all I need to do is do a perspective swap, create enemies, make them move the way I want them to, and then have transferable values such as transfer the character to this location without making a new one, and make the perspective swap carry over the stats between the levels, which is just done by, you know, creating a stat manager or something. Because I'm going to add all the things that I don't want to be destroyed between levels to a special object that I'm going to put a script on that says, hey, move this to the next level too. You'll notice whenever you hit play, come on, do the thing. Scroll down, you see don't destroy on load. There are things you can put in script that will go ahead and put this attribute on whatever is that script is attached to, and it will start populating itself in this area of your hierarchy. So that's how that works. Just make things don't destroy on load, so that way when you load a new stage, it'll just have those things already there. Now, the caveat with this is that, yeah, you got to be careful, because now you've got to make sure that you tell it exactly where it needs to spawn, and various other things that, you know, happen when you have to swap things between levels if you're working it that way. Which currently we are, and it is working, which means we can safely go to our end. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude the stream for today. Lovely stream. Sorry for my various, dipping away for stuff. This class has been very demanding of me, psychologically, mentally, intellectually. And as a result, I have kind of been letting things stack, like dishes, laundry, etc. Not dishes as much, but the laundry definitely, which I was in the process of doing when I kicked off the stream anyway. So that's what I've been running off and doing on the side. I've got a possible bonus credit for class that I'm going to be looking to try and get to at 10 o'clock tonight. Bunch of stuff. I've been having a bad time sleeping lately. Like, I've been sleeping in the middle of the day for like 5 hours. I do not know why. Suddenly I get tired, and I've been sleeping well at 11 to 7. So, that's probably just to deal with the stress, honestly. Depending on like how much effort you're putting into stuff or whatever you're doing. Unless you've had other changes in your life, it's more than likely school stress, because the stuff is not easy, man. It is not easy. So, with that said, yeah, I forgot where I was going initially on this little side rant. My brain's starting to slow down already. So, we're gonna clip this. I want to say thanks to those that participated in the stream chat today, including but not limited to Tori, Darklight, The Blitch Witch, and Abman. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all make it worth it. And that's it. Y'all go be good snowflakes. Happy spooky season. It's gonna be Halloween soon. That's a vibe. Stay frosty.